In what could be one of the most important weeks for US economies, the interest rates, and more importantly, the cryptocurrency market, we have the FOMC meeting, which could absolutely ignite the Bitcoin price. Or could we see a correction? We're going to break down what's going on, what's the expectation, and where do the US sit in correlation to the rest of the world when it comes to reducing their rates. All of this in this video. Go ahead, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it. Okay, Wednesday. This is going to be a pretty big deal. Jerome Powell will once again get the interest rates set for the United States. Now, let's be absolutely crystal clear. Donald Trump has been very vocal recently in that the fact he expects rate cuts. And there's lots of indicators right now that tell us that we should be seeing rate cuts. In fact, there are only 3 other countries that haven't reduced their rate cuts this year. So, well, the Fed is fundamentally behind the markets and we expect a rate cuts. Now, when you look at the CME watch tool, everyone is saying it's going to be flat, but there's a slim chance, in my opinion, that, well, Jerome Powell cuts rates. And let me show you exactly why. Here are the current rates and the previous rates for many of the countries around the globe and when they last changed. For example, even Russia dropped its interest rates by 1% back in the early part of this month. We see the European Central Bank, the ECB, dropped their interest rates back in May. We actually see even the UK, where I am, we dropped ours by 0.25. The only countries that haven't dropped their interest rates, Brazilian Central Bank, the Turkish Central Bank, and Japanese Central Bank. The other one, obviously, is the US, and we're still waiting to see how that all plays through. So, given the fact that, well, CPI data came in pretty good, PPI data came in pretty good, energy costs are going down, well, the question has to be, why is Jerome Powell not going to cut rates? And the big question then for us is, what happens with Bitcoin on the back of it? So the markets are bracing themselves. Volatility is the name of the game this week, but the reality is we could see increased trading volume as people try and speculate on what might be coming in. Investors have now turned cautious, and in fact, they're looking to position themselves back in risk-off assets and gold. Now, this may change over the next 24 to 48 hours, so you need to be dialed into the market, especially with all the tensions going on in the Israel-Iran war. Notably, the Fed, though, if they stay unchanged, this could certainly give us a hawkish situation, and the crypto market in the short term would actually see a pretty big price correction. Now, I don't think we lose 100,000, but I definitely think it would be pretty volatile. We've got a couple of mixed signals coming through, and actually we could see a potential drop to around $104,000, but Bitcoin dominance continuing to go up 63.78, as we know continuous inflows are going in. In fact, when we looked at it on Friday, you actually saw market correction with Iran and Israel, and BlackRock came in and bought 2,500 Bitcoin. Very interesting. The stock relative strength index has recently dropped below the overbought range in the daily time frame, highlighting an increase in negative price convergence. Basically, this means we are actually seeing less Bitcoin being bought. The fact is, though, people are dumping altcoins like they don't care. The Bollinger Bands, however, are showing a retest of the Bitcoin's price towards the upward trend, which could signal a positive move. All of this on a backdrop of where I think the market is everyone expects the Fed to not cut on Wednesday, and this may play slightly into our favor. Fingers crossed we could see it. There obviously are continuing dynamic shifts though in the market as we see institutions buying, and retail right now don't care. They don't care about cryptocurrency. No one cares about Bitcoin. Everyone thinks at 105,000 it's overpriced. Yet you and I are absolutely believing that Bitcoin's got more to come. Don't forget, if you think you've got more to come with Bitcoin, head on over to Unix, my new exchange partner, offering not only brilliant deposit bonuses and trading rewards, they are no KYC and available all over the globe, so you don't need to use any dodgy VPNs or anything crazy. Unix have all of your favorite cryptocurrencies, and don't forget, deposit $100 and you're gonna get that 20% rebate, which is a $20 free futures bonus. Again, up to $1,000, gonna give you $200 back. There is a link in the description. Sign up using that, and again, trade $10 million. They'll give you $1,000 for free to trade all your favorite futures. So heading over there, deposit and get trading with Unix, link in the description. Okay, finally, let's talk about some macroeconomics that we can think about this week. US-China situation continues to stress supply chains. The fact that container freights from Shanghai are massively up last week should once again support the narrative of a reduced interest rates. Cost of goods should start to come down, as we saw with that PPI report. The White House and counter-China rare earth export curbs. This is an immediate short-term problem that could see rare earth minerals go up, which would be things like cars and all the rest of it would be a problem. Finally, though, the fact of the Iran-Israel conflict and the FOMC could give us very bumpy weeks, big volatility. But where do I sit in all of this? What's my view with the market? Well, I just have a sneaking suspicion that Jerome Powell could cut by 25 basis points. And I'll tell you exactly why. With the spike in oil prices, that's going to cause a cost at the pump to many US citizens. Trump's not going to want that. We know Trump's been public about the fact that he is already lining Scott Bessent up as a potential replacement. And if Jerome Powell wants to see his time out and do the right thing, then rate cuts, along with the vast majority of the globe, are in order. This for markets would be very bullish. And I just feel Jerome Powell may be dialed in for a little rate cut on Wednesday. Let me know what you think of all that in the comments down below. As always, don't forget to check out the links down there, especially that Unix one. Get signed up and get trading. Until next time, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.